That means it's time for my demonstration, folks. So how's everyone gone with our meat meal? With a ham. Oh, thank you. That's a very good sign, very good sign. So you've got your recipes before you, and I'm looking at my at mine here on Pinterest. So here I am with a cup of broth. Now my broth happens to be, in fact I think it's written in your recipe, I've done 3/4 of a cup of hot water with a cube of beef Massei. So or beef style. Everyone's familiar with beef style Massei? Yeah. Oh, Gordon, sorry. Yeah. See, I'm waving it around in the air. I'm trying to get used to the camera. I'm not very much used to cameras. Anyway, so into my little mixing pan. Now, the suggestion is that you put all this into a pot and just warm it. The alternative is you can just put it in some hot water. And I'm just going to add the rest of the ingredients, which is a tablespoon of smoked paprika. And yes, anyway, smoked paprika. I got this nice big bag from Bin In. So in it goes. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of liquid smoke. Now who's familiar with liquid smoke? You are? Yeah. So I was given this bottle and I didn't use it for long enough. So you're familiar? No, some of you are shaking your heads. You can actually order it online. There's 3 different types from Wrights. Can you see in there? Liquid smoke. I don't know which way. You can come and show it, Gord. Here we go. We'll just employ Gordon as my assistant tonight. Okay, here we go. Liquid smoke. Now, here we go. And this is an alternative that you can get from Bin In. So this one, that one, the first one Gordon showed is, yeah, same thing, but I'm going to use this one, which was ordered online. All right. So, and guess what? You need very little, but it gives the real smoke. Who liked the ham? Yes, manageable. Anyway, so if you want to replicate it, it's a teaspoon of liquid smoke. There we go. Now, on top of that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, which I've already got measured out here. Who's familiar with nutritional yeast? You might need to be here, Gordon, and I'll wave it. Yes, okay. So available from Bin In, or actually this is, the nice one is Lotus, from Lotus, it's called Lotus, it's a Lotus brand, and it's available at New World. Yeah, and Pico, I think, yes. Okay, so then we've got a little bit of tomato ketchup, tomato sauce. You can make your own. Watties is responsible for this one. A little bit of Watties to add to some flavour. And it's all going in my jug nicely. It's only a tablespoon, so it's not going to cause too much havoc in the system. Okay, half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of garlic powder. The alternative is you can just use a clove of garlic if you like, but I've gone for powder this time because it's easy. Now on top of that I've got some salt, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. Now that's a really specific, if you're using a small spoon, a couple of spoons won't hurt. But anyway, at least 1 1/4, and then I'm putting in some oil, and the alternative is, or the option is coconut oil or a light oil. This is rice bran oil, but we try to keep our oil at a minimum. Yes? So that's all it is. And then that's my little mix here brewing away nicely. You only need to warm it. Then I'm just simply going to put in my blender this magic mix, which is the exceptional one that we love to use when we're here, because you can pump out mixes in 5 minutes. So it's just a cube of soft tofu, or you can use the firm, it doesn't really matter. And then into with the tofu, we're going to simply add the mix. Now I'm going to turn this on. It's going to make a bit of a noise. And although in the recipe it suggests that you mix all this up and then add the gluten flour in a bowl and mix it slowly, I'm just going to put it all in here and guess what happens. So it's a bit of noise, but watch what happens. So actually I'm going to take the lid off. So I just mix that up first. This is exactly the same operation that I do with the herb loaf as well. Same thing, just different. Cannelloni beans, herbs and flour, all in the mixer, mix. That's all you need to do. And then out it comes. There's a secret to the flour though, and although we've said a cup and a half of the flour, is it a cup and a half? Yeah, you may need to go to 2. It's somewhere between 1.5 to 2. If it's too soft, it'll be too spongy. But if it's too hard, it'll be too rubbery. Was it rubbery tonight? No, it was right? Yeah, good. Okay, well, I would say 2 cups. So just to be safe. So I'm gonna see how I go with 1.5 and leave a little bit of a residue. And then we'll take it from there. And that's the only thing, is if you're doing it in a bowl, you've got a little bit more control, but this is simple, tasty, simple. So it pretty much forms into a ball. It's not fluid enough. So I definitely would, like write on your recipes, it's not firm enough. I'd write 2 cups actually, just to be safe, just so you know. Right. Okay, there we go. Now, it comes out. Relatively easily. And then we simply knead it for, it says 2 to 5 minutes, and normally, if it's nice and fluid and firm enough, it won't stick to your board. So it should come right in a few minutes. So I'm just going to, my tablecloth's a little bit moving. What I want to say is that gluten flour, for those who are allergic, doesn't work at all well. It's not a food I would encourage every day by a long shot. We just do it on special occasions, just like the fatted calf or the turkey or whatever. It's just special occasion food. So don't get into the habit of having it daily, but it is a good option. Do you think? Yeah. I've got a few heads nodding out there. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is you just form it into a bit of a shape, like that, like so. And then we wrap it in some baking paper first. I need an assistant up here. But anyway, we're doing fine. So gluten flour is loaded with tryptophan, and so is tofu. And does anyone know what tryptophan's good for? Mood. It's a brain neurochemical that we need in our brain, and we need it. So it's definitely not all bad. It's one of the things that our brains run on nicely. So I'm just going to you just kind of form it into a nice little loaf shape here. Fold that up. Can you see? So, oh, what's happened to our picture? While Craig's sorting that out, I'm just going to wrap it now in foil. I'm sure it'll come back on. This is the boring part anyway. You can see. Now it's going into foil. Anyway, I can show you while Craig's sorting that. Here we go. See our little loaf in foil. Now the next thing is, I've got a steamer here, which I'm obviously not going to put on, but just so you can see, this is my magic steamer that's been around for a long time, and I can actually do 2 loaves in there, so because it's got a basket as well, so you can make 2 loaves at a time, put it in the bottom, and then you'd have another one on the top, and steam away for 1 hour on low. So just bring your water to the boil and let it steam for an hour and then you take it out and it's cooked, and then I've just got the finished product here. Oh, sadly, how are we going? We haven't. Anyway, you did see a picture of one on the front, but here we go. That's our little finished article. It's obviously a little more technical. Here's our wee loaf. And I just do the diagonal slices and put some cloves in. And then your broth to put over the top is, again, it's a little bit of Massei, some water, some maple syrup. What else? Sorry, my recipe's got a little bit of oil. And that's it. So you just cook it for half an hour after it's come out of the steamer. Cook it for half an hour. And then just every 10 minutes or so, just sprinkle some more of the over the top. And then you've got your vegan ham with a little bit of applesauce if you like. How's that? Okay, there you go.